All right, looks like it's recording. All right. I literally just got home, guys. Just gotta bear with me. I am going to have an interview today with somebody from. She's a YouTuber, but he also works IT support. I went to get coffee. Um, should be very interesting to say the least. I am gonna set up my mic real quick, so you might hear a little bit of a weird noise. Sorry about that. And I am gonna move my camera a little bit further down because it doesn't look right. You could see me a little better. Just a little bit. There we go. All right. So, what is going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a great day. Um, happy Friday. So today I am gonna have an interview with someone, a YouTuber. His name is Cobuman. I can't pronounce the YouTube channel for the sake of this video. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna have an interview with him. He is a YouTuber. He makes YouTube videos on help desk, IT support, technical support, IT interviews, and he does also software videos as well, like Windows 10 and stuff like that. So I am gonna share my screen just for a quick second. Why am I sharing my screen? Is because I want to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna open up YouTube and I'm gonna show you who he is and what he does, just so you can have a look at it and have a good idea of what he is or what he does. I'm gonna look for him real quick. Give me a second. I am subscribed to a lot of different channels, so just bear with me. He's the only one that has this icon that is kind of cool. He has a really nice icon. So yeah, so this is him. He does a lot of IT videos. So if you don't know anything about him, I suggest you subscribe to his channel. He has a lot of great content. He does technical support interviews, some software, hardware stuff, some networking as well, common commands you need to know if you work IT. He goes over just monitors, hardware, and all that good stuff, and a little bit of everything for the most part. In-depth hardware support as well. So he has he has about 27,000 subscribers. Um, he wanted to do this video live chat with me, which I greatly appreciated. He's really good with hands-on training. So I definitely recommend you go to his channel. You go to his channel, show him some love. Por favor, show him some love, please. And have a look at his content. He has a lot of content that's similar to my content. Mine is a little over the place. His is a little bit over the place as well, but it's all IT support, desktop support, technical support. So if you guys are new to my channel, I do IT interviews, I do CompTIA videos, I do videos on how to get into desktop support. I do videos on everything to do with IT support. So if you're new to my channel, you don't know who I am. I do a lot of IT videos. I work for a hedge fund, and basically I'm gonna do a job interview today or an IT interview today with someone that is a YouTuber, just like me. And we scheduled it for 6 o'clock. I'm waiting for him to show up. I just went over his channel, and I wanted to show you what he has in his channel. Please show him some love. I greatly appreciate the fact that he took the time to actually have this interview with me. We're gonna have a one-on-one chat. We'll see how that goes, and then after this is done, and that being said, I'll upload it. I'll upload this on YouTube, and maybe if he likes the video, he'll upload it on his YouTube channel as well. But please show him some love. I greatly appreciate it. And please like this video. Please rate this video. Please comment if you want to have us have another, I guess, interview, or if there's some questions you want to ask that you may have not been answered today. Maybe you want us to answer in another video, or maybe you want me to answer in another video. Definitely let me know. So I am waiting for him to show up. Right now, he'll show up in 3 minutes, or he should show up shortly. But definitely let me know if you want to see more content like this, where I do IT interviews with other people. This is my second interview of this year, which is awesome. I'm hoping to have a few more this year, and we'll see how that goes. And that's it. I just got out of work, so literally I took a cab. I came here. You saw me took my coat out. I just got here, so I'm waiting for him to show up. Please show him some love, like I said earlier before. And please like this video. I greatly appreciate it. It helps the algorithm of YouTube. It helps me out. It helps him out as well, because he might upload this video on his channel as well. So definitely follow him. I'll leave his YouTube channel link, or so you can subscribe to him in the description below. When I upload this video, you get to see it there. You get to follow him, see what he has. He has a lot of great content, by the way. So just waiting for him to show up. I'm not in a rush, so I wait here. If he takes 5 minutes more, it takes 5 minutes. It's totally fine with me. 10 minutes is totally fine with me. This might be a long interview. This might not be a long interview. Um, we'll see. So let's see what happens. He said he wanted to ask me a couple of questions too. So right now I'm having coffee. It's about to go down when I'm having coffee. I never have if I have coffee, something is about to go down. So you already know that. I have my cup right over here. It's about to go down when I have coffee because I don't have coffee unless it's about to go down. So yeah, so definitely show some love on his channel. I greatly appreciate it. He should be in shortly. Right now I'm the only one participating. So there he is.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Nice. You sound good. Loud and clear. Crispy clear.
All right, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. I literally got here a couple minutes ago, and I did a recording. I'm recording the screen. I'm recording this chat right now, and I did a recording. I did a share screen, and I was showing people your YouTube channel and what you have on your YouTube channel. And that's
Oh, okay.
To show you to show you some love after this is all over. So
yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
I'll take all the love I can get. You know what I mean? Especially on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are you streaming live right now, or is
No. This is just you and me right now, and I'll upload it later. But basically, I said in the video, I recorded a video. This is live right now, and I did a live recording with the application.
That's fine.
And basically,
that's fine.
I said when I upload this video, please show him some love. If this goes once this goes on YouTube, please show him some love because he has a lot of content that's similar to mine, and he has a lot of useful content. So have a look at his channel, and I share your channel as well and everything. So
right on. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you're going to start recording right off the bat, and that's perfectly fine with me. When you were telling me about Zoom, I'm like, what is he talking about? Zoom? Like, it didn't click to me, and I'm like, is this a Zoom meeting? And then you're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, that must be it. So then I'm like, okay, it didn't click because I'm like, you want to like do this over Skype? But then I realized, okay, yeah, the Zoom you can just click the button and start recording, which is pretty cool. I can see why you would want to use that.
Yeah, so I have a Zoom subscription, so that's the reason why I use it, because I have a Zoom subscription, and basically I do all my interviews with this. So also I have meetings with people that are trying to get into IT, that they want like IT advice. I usually create a meeting with this, and then I send it over to them, and I have a conversation with them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, man, I don't have video going.
It's okay. You see me, right?
Yeah, I can see you just fine.
I literally we had an issue today, and I'm not gonna go over it in depth, but basically we had an issue today where BombGuard, which is the remote session, it doesn't work on Mac OS X Catalina, the latest operating system. So I had to use Zoom in order to see their screen. And they're like, "You have Zoom?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll give you my YouTube channel Zoom account, and then I could share your screen with that," because he was using like a local Mac PC.
Mm-hmm.
And he had an issue with he had like 8 issues. So I spent 3 hours on the phone with him because he had 8 issues.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So,
Zoom works on iOS, because I'm not really I only heard about it. I haven't really used it. Usually at my work, people just use WebEx sessions that are kind of similar like this, but this kind of goes into video right off the bat. So
yeah, but the problem with his is that he has the latest version, and if you go online and Google Zoom with Catalina, it works fine. But if you Google BombGuard, which is the screen share application, it actually gets blocked by default by Gatekeeper of Mac OS X system preferences, and you have to allow it.
Oh wow, I didn't know. Yeah, honestly, I'm not that familiar with Macs and Mac OS and all that stuff. So you definitely know more about that stuff than I do.
Yeah, so I spent 3 hours because he had an issue where nothing was working on when he does like Citrix and he gets into a Citrix desktop, it wasn't working. So I had to remove the Citrix workspace, reinstall it, put the latest one on his Mac. I did that, and then that fixed that problem. But then he had another problem where his printers, we have like printer redirection, where basically you could add a printer locally and print from there to your job, basically on your desktop and your job. So I had
Mm-hmm.
to add those printers for him as well. I did all the mapping. Then I had to show him how to use Skype as well because he's never used Skype before. And it's a client that we have. It's like so we have one big hedge fund, and then we have multiple companies inside the hedge fund that we
Right.
just recently brought. So he's one of the hedge funds that we bought. So he doesn't know how to use Skype because we just integrated everyone to Skype. They don't know how to use it. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to show them how to use Skype. I had to show them how to create a meeting, how to share your screen, how to do a dial in, how to reset your pin on Skype, all these other things that we went over. So that's why it was like a 3-hour phone call because he had a bunch of different types of issues.
Right.
Yeah.
So they use Citrix now. My company, obviously I can't say the company I work for because I'm actually just in case, because you never
No,
know.
same here. That's why I don't. That's why I don't say where I work at. I just say I fixed that issue, but I don't say the company.
Yeah, we also use Citrix. I can't say it's a really big phone company, nationwide company, but anyways, I digress. We do use Citrix, but there are like a couple of different versions of Citrix. Some used for remote sessions, and it's the way it's set up for us. A user kind of gets confused because they get a limited access to the remote computer. So um, whenever they log into Citrix, all they get is like a sort of like it pulls up the remote desktop session for them, but it
Mm-hmm.
pulls up IE for them to use. And within that, they're only allowed to use IE for that session. It's kind of weird setup.
Oh, I was gonna ask you a question. Like before you even get into what technology you use, I want you to introduce yourself because people are like, "Who the hell is this guy? Why is he in? Why is he in this video? Why is he in this chat?"
Fair
And
enough.
yeah, just to introduce yourself a little briefly. I'm pretty sure some people on obviously in your channel, they know who you are, but people on my channel, like, who is this guy? Like, they
Fair
don't even know
enough.
who you are. Yeah,
Good call. My name is
yeah.
Ervin, and my YouTube channel is Cobuman, which is spelled Cobuman. My channel is about IT mostly, tutorial videos, and basically teaching people on how to do IT, whether it's help desk, mostly help desk, but I do have desktop support, system administration, network administration, some knock stuff, and just a bunch of different things that I touch on when it comes to just teaching about IT in general. But I do have some hardware stuff, and I do like an off video where it's like kind of like a little bit beyond hardware and IT because I got to break it up sometimes. But in general, my YouTube is basically preparing people to do IT jobs, whether it's help desk, desktop support, network administration, system administration, and what have you. Um, if you're wondering about the name Cobuman, it's so I have a childhood nickname which is Cobu, and then I just added Man behind it because it's like almost sounds like a superhero. I don't want to sound egotistic or anything like that, but I was like, huh, because I remember my cousin used to call me that. He's like Cobuman, and because I'm like, oh, that's kind of catchy. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna name my channel that, and it kind of was like almost like a superhero type of thing. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of fun thing to do. You know.
Are you gonna use this video at all in your channel or no? Just wondering.
I am not recording. I am
Okay.
not recording right now, and I did try to click on recording on this Zoom thing, and it said I need your permission to start recording the session. I
No,
guess
no.
because you're hosting.
I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you the file. I'm saying I'm gonna give you. Do you want the file when we're done talking?
Yeah, I can take the file. I'll have to figure out because I don't want to like it would be kind of I don't want to have two videos same videos on YouTube because you know what happens is whenever you have two people with the same videos on YouTube, the YouTube algorithm can say, well, this guy has or this gal has the same video uploaded. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a um, I guess a copyright related. But what I was planning to do actually is once you upload yours, I was going to recommend your video to my community in the
Okay.
community tab. So
Okay.
I figured that would be pretty fair, and that way we don't have two videos that are exactly the same. You know what I mean? And that
Okay.
way maybe you can get some subscribers from my side and vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, I don't. I wanted to talk to you and everything, but I'm recording just to help people in IT. I don't really care about subscribers. Like it takes time, you know, and also I do it more to help people. You know, I do it out of goodwill, you know, just
Sure,
like
sure.
helping people. That's how
No,
I am.
that's definitely the right attitude. You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
takes. I mean, I started doing it for fun, just like as a hobby.
Hmm.
Kind of, what was it, late 2015? I think in December. That's one of my like first videos, and then I started to see that people are interested in that, and I found that there really wasn't that much of uh, like tutorials that are like, I don't want to say good, but there really wasn't that much of it wasn't saturated. You know what I mean? So at that time, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make more because people like it, and I got good feedback on that too. So it kind of feels good to help people. You know what I mean? So I just kept doing it, and I keep doing it. You know what I mean? So
You know what the problem is that they have IT support, help desk, and desktop support videos on YouTube, but
Mhm.
those videos are kind of outdated, and basically they're extremely outdated, and then people don't, either they're outdated or they're not like very like they don't go in depth or talk about how to get into IT if you're trying to get your first job in IT. So
exactly.
having a channel like your channel or my channel, it actually we go more into detail about it, and plus we're a little more up to date versus the other stuff that's probably like 7, 8, or 10 years old. So
Well, absolutely. We're
yeah,
constantly up to date because we're doing that job right now.
exactly.
As soon as
Hmm.
something new comes up, we also have to learn about it, and then we convey that same experience and same, I guess, education to other people too. So that way they can at least know what to expect when it comes to, getting into IT, whatever the field might be.
Hmm.
Um, so staying up to date with that type of stuff is very crucial, because um, not only would that experience help you kind of resolve different issues, it's just, I mean, it's just fun. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. What is your I was gonna ask you what do you like? What do you specialize in as far as work is concerned? Like, what do you do in your job? Like, that you specialize in, or what do you what's your like? What's your like typical day? Is it something that I is like similar to what I do, or is it a little different?
It's very similar, up to a point. I work as a business systems analyst at this time.
Oh wow.
So that's kind of more like, um, typically business system analyst is someone who works with like management in organizing different aspects of IT that are within the company. So for example, let's say a new software is being worked on and they want to install it on the computers. And I do realize that desktop support would also work with this. But when it comes to business systems analyst, you have to kind of make suggestions to the management of how to go about it, and which products to use. And they could be either software or could be hardware. Um, and that's the type of, so I do a lot of interaction with management. That's basically half my job. But when I'm not busy, I would just work tickets, probably just like you. I don't know.
So do you deal with like, not to get into detail with your job, but do you deal with products that are like products you look at for like as a way to save money and automate stuff, or you looking at products to actually work things efficiently? I don't know if that question makes sense or what I'm asking makes sense.
um, I think I get what you're saying. You see, it depends. I mean, if they look at the cost, then they can. It, when it comes to a business, it's like they always try to save money. You know what I mean? So every time you try to suggest something, that's the first thing they're gonna look at. They're gonna see, well, how much is this type of thing? When it comes to efficiency, you're definitely gonna want to recommend, whatever's best, whatever I think is the best, or whatever whoever else does business works as a business system analyst would suggest that as the best suggestion for them. It could be either, like I said, it could be software or hardware, and that point, then you kind of work it out whether the management wants to go ahead and do that or not. You know what I mean? Without getting into too much of a detail.
I'm guessing you deal a lot with third party vendors, and they tell you they set up a meeting with you, and they probably come and try to sell their product and explain to you why their product is good, or what are the pros of their product versus someone else's product that's trying to sell something similar to what they're selling.
Right. I mean, yeah, it could be one of those situations. We just have a meeting and then, you pitch it to them, or they just, you come back with a base, sort of like a cost analysis of how much it would cost to do this, and then you can present that separately to the management. It just depends on the situation. You know what I mean? If it it varies also from who, like if is, are you buying stuff from, for example, HP or Dell, or are you getting this software from this company or that one? What's the advantage? What's the advantage? What's the cost for that? And basically, you would get all that information, and I would present it to like a manager or something like that,
Got it.
or
That makes sense.
manager or a director, depends whoever wants to be involved. Sometimes a director wants to be involved of that certain uh, part of the business, and it just, it's very situational.
You work in a financial industry just like me, or you do different kind of industry? If you don't mind me asking.
It's a phone company.
Oh, you said phone company. Yeah, I remember you said phone company.
It's a cell phone company. It's a really, I guarantee you've seen a commercial for it today. Let's just say that. So
what are like so I guess you probably have like you probably do help desk as well, so you probably do like Active Directory, maybe
mhm,
Exchange, maybe group policy, maybe you do break and fix, maybe you do software or hardware support. I'm pretty sure you do all that on a day-to-day basis besides looking at
exactly.
products.
I do. Yeah, definitely. That it can be anything from, broken monitor to firewall issue to uh, just, I don't know, somebody needs help on how to work use a program, or I think you mentioned the printer earlier, and stuff like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
um, have you ever had uh, they kind of remind me when you said about a printer that you help that person with a printer.
No one in IT likes printers, man. Printers are like demons when it comes to IT support.
I've uh, I've seen trouble tickets come through, and the user would say, my printer is not working. And then I would contact them, and whether it's with the remote desktop, I would take a look or go to our actual desk or office. And sometimes it turns out they just want to save the file as PDF. But some programs, or I think even Microsoft, Windows 10 does that too, where it kind of shows up as a printer. So you select it. So for example, there are a couple of different programs that act like that. For example,
Yeah,
like a PDF creator or a Qt
mhm.
PDF or something like that.
Microsoft XPS, and then
Hmm.
there's Microsoft Writer or Reader or something like that. Writer, it comes up as a printer on devices and printers.
Yeah, the XPS one, that's the old format for
Yep,
Windows
yep.
7. Windows
Hmm.
10 has actual, like a real PDF. Um, I guess it would be converter, or basically you save a file as PDF. And but
Yeah.
sometimes user doesn't know, and they say, my printer doesn't work, and you go there and it's, oh, you just want to save this as a PDF. So it's kind of funny sometimes.
Yeah, that's the kinds of calls I get. I get calls that are like really silly, and then the customer or the client or we call a user. I don't like calling people users. I like calling them by their first name. Um,
Sure.
that's just me. I call people by their first name.
Hmm.
And I don't say user for some reason. It's just the way I am. And usually they have a problem, and typically it's an easy fix. And they're like, "Oh man, I feel stupid about that." I'm like, "Don't feel stupid about it. Like, we're here to help. That's my job. Like, I wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for that issue that you had.
No, exactly. No,
Yeah.
that's
So
that's what I do all the time. Every time I speak to them, especially in person, and you can't convey that type of understanding over like I am, or over the email or anything like that. But when you can do it over the phone, but when I go talk to them in person, and then I kind of make them understand that I understand that they don't necessarily know how computers work, but yet they're going to be 10 times better at what they're doing than me. You know what I mean? So if there's some kind of, for example, I don't know, financial analyst or something, and they're going to know that job 10 times better than me. So it kind of be like it kind of would be flipped around. In that case, I would have no clue what they're doing, but when it comes to computers, they kind
yeah,
of feel the same.
because they get paid to do their job, so they're only good at specific products or programs that are installed on the computer. But they won't know anything outside of that when it comes to IT. So when you make them, when they have an issue that's IT related, they wouldn't know how to fix it. They only know how to fix the product that they're using because they use that product.
Right, right, exactly.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that. Some people get frustrated and annoyed by the user or by the client. But the thing is that they only know how to do their job. They don't know how to troubleshoot IT problems. That's the reason why they call us to help them. So
Sure, absolutely. And
yeah.
you got to have the patience, you know, you got to have the patience to deal with the users. And it's just part of the job. You got to accept that. And sure, we can all get frustrated, you know, sometimes with the user,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
hey, you know, it's just the way I see it, just do your job. And part of that job is customer service. You know what I mean? You got to have the customer service, and it's good to have that understanding because it's just a, you know, it's just a broken computer. That's all there is to it. You just got to help them out, and you know, go about your day.
Yeah, exactly. It's at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you have to give good customer service. If you don't do that, then what you're not doing your job. Like that's why like I get really frustrated and annoyed with well not this job, my last job. I got annoyed with my coworkers because they would give really poor service, and then the poor guy would call me, and then he would be scared to call us because another person yelled at him that works in IT. And I'm like, really? They yell at you, and someone from IT yelled at you? Like, we're not supposed to do that. Who did that? Tell me who it is. And then they wouldn't want to tell me. And then I find out who it is, and then it gets pretty bad after that. Okay, that's like the last thing I want is for it's for a user or a client to be scared to call IT because IT gets mad at them. I don't want that.
No, definitely not. And I've, yeah, I've seen those type of situations happen. And you know, unfortunately, that happens sometimes with new people that start working IT. And I don't mean somebody who's brand new to IT. It could be somebody who's been doing IT for like 10, 15 years, but their social skills may not be that good, you know. But over time, I found that we can teach those people as well, you know, us as in senior guys that you know, have more experience. Well, you know, I guess in this example, if the guy already has experience, he'd be a senior guy. It's just he doesn't have social skills that, in the long run, would make his job easier. So just it's really simple. You know what I mean? Just say, hey, how's it going? How's your day? How are you? Hi, smile, have a nice day, and that means so much to the people that you're working with. Just saying have a nice day at the end. It's just even if it's a bad news that you have to give them, like for example, hey, this, I don't know, this computer is broken, for example. I have to, I don't know, spend more time to fix it, or I have to replace this part. But if you tell them, hey, look, you know, we'll do our best to help you out, um, but it may take some time, and this and that, and then you say, you know, have a nice day. They're gonna be definitely more understanding, and they're not gonna jump into complaining, because that does happen behind people's back sometimes, but a lot of times it's the IT person's fault if they didn't have the common courtesy to have to be polite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
They'll
yeah.
immediately go to their manager and say, I don't know, Bob, Bob, you know, Bob didn't treat me nice or something like that, and then
Yeah, yeah, they'll make up a story and basically say that the person treat them like crap, and then when you go talk to them, the second IT guy goes talk to them, and they seem like a super nice person, and then it turns out that it was the IT guy fault because he just doesn't know how to talk to the person. His
it,
communication skills aren't the best, basically. So
Exactly. And
yeah,
on the same note, you can have specific people, as in users, that need to be handled in a specific way. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that they're particular, and um, there's a certain way you have to talk to them in order for them to not cause um, or not to complain. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. It
and I've
did.
had to do that before too,
Mm-hmm.
where they immediately contact me. Uh, you know, let's use Bob for example. Bob doesn't work. I don't know who Bob is, but let's say Bob did something, you know, bad, or didn't do something, because a lot of times that's the case too. They don't fix the computer or something, and they just walk away. They would contact me and says, hey, Bob was over here, but he couldn't do this and that. And then I have to go and talk to them in person, usually, into their office, or if they have a cubicle somewhere or in the other building or whatnot. And then I have to smooth things out, which is fine. That's part of my job as well. But yeah, those type of situations can happen. And a lot of times a misunderstanding, but sometimes it's not. So, I mean, that's real talk, that's just what happens in the business environment. There's so many people there too, especially when you work at a corporate level. There's so many people you encounter. Everybody's going to be different.
Yeah, of course. I have that issue too in my job. Because I work with executives and VPs, and they come to me They come to me when something's not working, when they're having an issue, or they talk to someone else in IT and they get really annoyed and frustrated, and they're like, "But Kevin could fix it for me. Why are you acting like this, or why are you behaving like that?" And then it comes to me, and I have to go and put out the fire. Like, I don't want to do that, but I have to do that. Unfortunately, that was like that was like put on me on my plate, basically, because I do white glove support. So
Mm-hmm.
they have certain expectations. So if someone gives them bad service, then I have to go smooth it out, and I don't want to do that, but I have to do it. That's part of my job. So basically, you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I get annoyed by bad service as well. I get really annoyed when someone gives really bad service, because I put myself in their shoes. Like, if I were to go to a restaurant and go eat, and you go to a restaurant, you go eat, right? And
Mm-hmm.
basically you go eat, and then someone comes to go eat after you, basically, and the
Mm-hmm.
waiter comes and takes care of that person first and doesn't take care of you, just totally ignores you. Of course you're gonna get annoyed. So then it's the same thing with IT. Like, if you're gonna give bad service to someone else and good service to someone else, you gotta be consistent with your service. You gotta give good service to everyone. It's not just one person. You know.
Exactly. And,
Uh,
I mentioned earlier, this can happen more often to new people. And that's related to just not, having, I suppose, experience, that kind of, and not just experience when it comes to, social skills, but also working experience. Because, see,
mhm,
this is what happens. A new guy would go and help somebody. They would go to their office, but they happen to be, let's say, a manager of some sort, so they have power, basically. They would go and they would try their best. The new guy would try his best to fix the computer, but he couldn't fix it. So now he has to come back to, one of us to help him out. Uh, and if a person, or user in this case, is not used to that type of thing, it can get frustrating. Because, for example, if I go, or somebody else, and I don't mean to like stroke my own ego, you know what I mean? But when
mhm.
I go, I have quite a bit of experience. So 99% of the time, I will fix it, and it will be just like that. It'll be done, and I would just walk out, say, have a nice day. But if a new guy goes, and the thing is, though, the new guy needs that experience, because the new guy may be even afraid to go to the office of the manager of that department. You know what I mean? Because people are intimidated by power. You know what I mean? Because when somebody says, "Oh, it's a manager," and you got to talk to them, it doesn't even matter that it's not your manager. The new guy might have some kind of just inherited fear from maybe other jobs. But the thing is, though, um, that can also affect your ability to troubleshoot. It doesn't mean that the new guy doesn't know how to fix it. Is that chances are maybe he got nervous, and he didn't. It's just like, when you're nervous, you sometimes forget things, and we've all been there. Even when I started doing this type of stuff, that has happened to me. And
Yeah,
then
you
I would
you
have.
get that. Yeah, you get like that because you're just starting out. You don't want to make any mistakes. You don't want to get fired. You don't know what to say to the user. You don't know what to say. You don't know how to fix the problem, and then you don't want to escalate it because you're scared to escalate it, because then if you escalate it and you end up getting in trouble because you didn't fix it, you didn't figure out how to fix it. So you have all these problems going on. But deep down inside, it's not really your fault. It's because you're still learning. So you got to process. It's time.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And the way you would deal with this as a new guy is you would tell him, hey, look, I'm sorry. Um, well, don't say, hey, that's not very professional, but you can say, hey, I'm sorry. I can't fix it right now, but I will definitely go get somebody to help me out. And then that way you assure them that their issue is going to get resolved. Even though you don't know how to fix it, you're going to make sure that it gets fixed, even if it means getting somebody else to help, and that can make a huge difference. That way, that the person you're helping, they're not going to complain in any way, and they know that the help is coming. Because when you're going away, they're literally turning in their seat, right, in their in their seat, and they're looking at, oh, well, he's going away, so what's going on?
Yeah,
User's confused. He's going away. Where's he
that
going?
that's happened to me quite a few times with IT issues, like entry level techs or new people in tech. One like lesson 101. I don't want to be like like mean or anything, but some of them that are people that are new in IT, they will literally look at it and like, okay, I can't fix it, and just walk away and not say anything to the client or the user, and not communicate anything, and then they walk away, and then that same person is calling help desk or IT support, calling the hotline and asking for help because the person that came there, they didn't do anything and they didn't tell them anything.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
It happens sometimes.
It definitely does,
Yeah.
and over time you get better. But it's those simple things. It's in the end, we work for users. We have to resolve their issues, and if and there's a particular way of dealing with that. It's not hard. It's just a matter of getting used to it. Once you get used to it, it just becomes second nature, and you know and this is why always try to be honest about everything that I do, especially when I make videos
Mm-hmm.
on tutorials and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I'm always honest, and I always try to teach the exact thing that I'm doing in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
I can spend, just to kind of touch on that a little bit, I can spend, uh, a lot of time talking about technical aspects of anything, whether it's operating system, certain software, this and that. But who's going to understand that? It's somebody who knows just as much as I do about computers.
Yeah.
So, but if my audience is somebody who's trying to get into IT, I'm going to break it down in a way that I teach other people that start working at my company. I'm going to teach them by showing them, well, this is what you need to do. This is how you fix it. You don't necessarily need to understand magic, but you can understand how to use magic in a sense. You know what I mean? Because technology can be viewed as magic. Like, let's say we were show a computer to somebody that's like in a Renaissance time, they'd be like, oh, that's magic. But then you're like, well, this is how you use it, and they're like, oh, well, I don't know, I still don't understand how it works, but I know how to use it. So, and I don't mean to be mean when I say any of this, but I think that's better way of teaching somebody who has no idea about computers or just knows enough to use a computer. But this way I can show them how to how to fix some of the some of the problems that are very common and some of the major issues too. But the way you explain it, I think the way I explain it, I think it's crucial, for people to understand, especially when they're new.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Like basically you educate the user on how to avoid having that same problem again, so then it doesn't happen again. So then they don't call you about having the same issue again. Otherwise they'll keep calling you over and over again. So you have to educate them. You have to teach
Mm.
them and educate them, but also you have to educate them in a way that they understand and not the way you understand it, because there's a difference between educating someone technical and not technical. So
Exactly. So here's a funny story. You know how, like, whenever you resolve an issue that nobody could fix, but most likely it was a proprietary system, because we know we all have proprietary systems at the places that
yes.
we work.
Yes.
So it, I'm sure people come to you and say, "Hey, Kevin, man, I can't figure this out." It'll be your coworker or somebody that works with you, and you're like, "Okay, I'll fix it." And then you spend like 2 or 3 hours on it, and you finally figure it out. But now you have to write instructions, not necessarily for yourself, because chances are you'll remember how to do it next time. Maybe you just like maybe a little bit of a kind of a backflash type of refresher in your mind. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
ah, that's how I fix it. But if you're trying to create instructions on how to troubleshoot something or how to fix a certain proprietary software, dude, this is what happened to me. I wrote those instructions, and this guy that started working, he's like, "Hey, you know how to fix this?" I'm like, "Yeah, here are the instructions." And he looks at him and he's like, "I What do you mean by this? What do you mean by that?" And the way I was explaining it was in a way that it made sense to me, but I was omitting so much, and that omitted stuff was the stuff that I just knew that that's how it's supposed to be. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like, to me, I already filled in my mind the parts that need to be uh, thought about in order to resolve it. So I was only filling in the blanks with my instructions, and it didn't make any sense to other people.
I know, I get it, I get it. You put it like it's like you put something in your language in English, and then someone else is reading it in Spanish, and they don't understand it because it's a different language, because it's only the way you understand it, because it's your language, because you wrote it. So
Hmm.
basically, it's a different language to them because you put like probably you put like algorithms or jargon on it, so you could understand it. But then the person that's trying to read it doesn't know what it says,
Hmm.
basically.
Yeah, not only that, I was omitting steps because in my mind, I already like it's like only putting down the steps that you need to take, like extra steps. So instead of going step by step, showing everything like I do on my videos,
Mm-hmm.
and you do on yours as well,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm just skip those because it's given, and then I just put in those steps that are needed to fix this. And then when somebody wrote, when they read that, they were like, I have no idea. What do you mean? And then what about before that? What about after? So they were completely out of it. Completely. By the way, if I wrote those instructions in my first language, it wouldn't be English, and that would be even more confusing. English is my second language.
Really
Hmm.
interesting.
I'm originally from Bosnia.
Oh wow. Hmm.
Hmm.
Interesting.
So
How many how what would you say is your percentage of people that you take care of on the phone versus being in front of them?
I'm majority in front of them because I support basically sort of like I guess I could say it's um, what's the name of that? Just a central location for like a central location for the business that has a lot of people in it. Do you ever get that where you're trying to look for that one word, but you can't come up with it? See, that's the problem with English second language for me. Um, Corporate, that's what I meant to say. So I work sort of like at the corporate level, and the people I support mostly are in that building. So majority of mine is my support that I do is for the people in that building. I do work with people in other states and stuff like that, but that
Hmm.
only happens whenever we're working on a project, on a big project that affects everybody as a company.
Oh
So let's
yeah, yeah. I get those two as well, actually.
yeah, whether it's working on connection between this database and that database, like from because I live in St. Louis, Missouri. So I don't know, if they're testing a database from connection from St. Louis to Florida or California or New York, I have to work with other people there at those other locations, or sometimes firewall, sometimes deploying new software, testing patches at our location, testing updates. You know how that goes. There's just so much.
Yeah, I have so my manager, because I have my I guess my company review in March, and basically he wanted me to write down all the projects I have to do for this year, and he got scared. He's like, "Oh my god, you have so much you got to do for this year." I'm like, "Yep, yep." So I have a bunch of projects that I'm working on that I have to do for the company as a
Mhm.
whole, and he was like really shocked. He's like, "Damn, you got a lot to do this year." I'm like, "Yeah." And he said hopefully we have time to do all of them. I'm like, we'll see, we'll see. But they were super happy to have me back with welcome hands when, because I was on vacation. So they were like, man, we missed you. So
How was your vacation? I know you went to
uh
Spain
so
and
I
Germany.
yeah, so I went to Barcelona, Spain, and I had a really great time. I like Germany though over Spain, just I'm being honest with you. So
I used to have family in Germany. Actually, I
really.
used to have, yeah, because um, where I come from, we had a war in the mid '90s. There was a civil war, so we all, well, not we all, but like a lot of people refuged to different countries. So some people went to Germany, some went to some of my family went to England, some went to United States, some Australia, some New Zealand,
Wow.
France, all over the world, because that's how, the refugees are distributed. So I used to have family in Germany. I think they moved back to the home country of Bosnia, which is right across from Italy, for those who are wondering. So you see the little shoe, and there's the little part of like a sort of like it looks like a gulf, I guess, but it's like that's the Adriatic Sea. Right across from that, on the other side of Italy, that's where Bosnia is.
Nice. I went to Munich, but I have family in Italy. I have family that's like mixed. They're basically mixed with Spanish and Italian. So I have family in Italy, and yeah, just Italy. I have people in family in Venice, Naples, and Rome. So, and I'll probably go to Italy probably at some point. Probably go Germany again for like a whole week, and then from Germany to Italy, and then come back to Germany. That's probably what I'm gonna do for my next vacation. So
Very nice.
yeah.
I well, I've been to Rome and Germany, Frankfurt, but it's kind of a cheating because that's always just the airport, just like a layover or whatever,
Hmm.
just like switching planes. So it doesn't really count. I was technically there, but not really. I haven't seen anything, so which is a shame. I would really like to, visit all those places. Traveling is fun for sure.
Yeah, this is my first time. Well, this is my second time going on vacation traveling out of the country, but this is my first time actually traveling out of the country with paid time off because the last time I traveled, I didn't have paid time off. I was a contractor, so now I'm a full-time employee with benefits and everything in this job because the job I had before, I didn't have any benefits and I didn't have any paid time off, so I traveled with my own pocket and everything.
Nice, nice. You live, I think you mentioned before, you live in New York, right?
Yeah, I am born and raised in New York, Brooklyn.
Nice, very nice. But you speak Spanish, right?
Yeah, I speak English and Spanish and a little bit of Japanese, a little bit of Japanese. I watch like Japanese animated shows, and
Mm-hmm. I
I
watch those too.
and that's about it. Yeah, English and Spanish. I'm fluent in both English and Spanish.
See, now I want to ask you about this other stuff that's totally unrelated to IT, but
Uh-oh.
I know maybe your viewers would rather us talk about IT stuff.
No,
So,
no, you could ask away. I'm all ears. Like we talk about other stuff as well in my other interview as well. And I know you wanted to ask me a bunch of questions about IT as well. So I'm waiting for you to throw those questions at me as well.
so can you share any details on the projects that you worked on? Because I know you mentioned a bunch of projects you've done, I guess, last year since you had your performance appraisal just now, or you're about to have a performance appraisal.
Yeah, so I'm having a review, and basically, I am so for people that don't know that are watching my channel, and people that are watching, I guess, your channel as well, watching this video for the first time. I actually got a new. I'm the first IT guy from New York. Our main office is in Dallas. They recently started growing as a whole. The company is growing like exponentially. Like they're growing so much that they need more IT people. And basically the whole company is growing like crazy right now. And basically this is the first time they hire an IT guy from New York, and they hired me because I worked in one of the top 5 best hedge funds in the world. I'm not going to tell you which company it is, obviously, for this reason. I can't tell you that, but I worked in the top 5 best hedge funds in the world. I worked there as an executive support guy, and basically they hired me for that same role in this job. But also, I also signed a contract, which is more of a managerial role. So I'm supposed to be in charge of the New York offices and also be in charge of hiring new people in IT in New York. And one of my projects is probably going to be doing migrations of moving multiple companies that we're buying off into our system. So I'm going to be in charge of that, and I'm also in charge of all the assets of all the companies that we own. Basically, I'm going to be in charge of all the assets, of doing inventory of all the assets and see which ones are up to date, which ones are not no longer in the systems, and which ones need to be updated with Silence or with any other applications and stuff like that. So that's like another project. And then I have another project that basically, because we have different companies, some companies do not have Skype. I have to move over a bunch of companies into Skype and integrate them into Skype. And I'm supposed to have a training session because they know I make YouTube videos. That I'm supposed to have a training session with everyone and sit down with them and show them how to use Skype in depth to just share the screen and everything.
So the
Um,
company you work for is aware that you make YouTube videos?
yes,
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're okay with it. They as long as I don't mention the company name, they're cool with me. So
Yeah, people that around me, they also know, because I don't know, I get excited about things when it comes to sharing the statistics and stuff like that.
hmm
So I can't help but to share, the, I suppose, success. But again, I don't like, I don't want to sound egotistic or anything like that. But it's just exciting, I'm
yeah,
sure you
yeah.
talk to somebody, maybe your friend or somebody at work, and you're like, yes, it's going well and this and that, which is, but
I like half the people that, because I use Steam, I play games online, Steam. Half the people that I play on the server, they all subscribed to my channel recently.
nice,
Yeah.
nice, man. Dude, I see you working really, really hard, and I can't help but to respect that. And you're very likable, which is awesome. This is why I'm not. Um, I did some videos with a face cam and this and that, but to be honest, they weren't doing well. I don't know why, but either way, you have to have personality like yours to be, because you're likable, and that's really going, you just have that personality, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just one of those things. And I think it's going well for you, and it suits you well, the just being in front of a camera so much. I tried it, and it wasn't doing well, so I kind of started sticking to the things that I do best, just showing.
You gotta show your face every once in a while. You gotta show that pretty face every once in a while. Otherwise, people are gonna get lost.
Show my ugly mug. Nah.
Ah, don't say that. Don't say that.
Now I have a couple of videos out there with me on there, and uh, I feel more comfortable just behind the camera, not
If
in
if
front.
if you want to be on camera, put yourself on camera. Just put a wig and a mask on. You'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah, like one of those streamers. Wait, are you talking about that one streamer? Um, what's it, Doctor Disrespect or something? I don't know. He puts on a wig and sunglasses.
No, no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh my God.
Nah, no.
It,
But
mhm.
I was gonna say, but for my IM and like a business picture, dude, I have a nice dress shirt on and a
Mhm.
tie, and like I took like the best angle picture.
Oh,
So
that's
that people
that's
are
that's good. It's a professional picture, like your LinkedIn profile and stuff like that. You gotta look professional.
mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, that's basically my projects. I have other projects as well, but basically, I'm the first IT guy they ever hired in New York, and they've been super happy with me. And they told me that, like, when you probably don't know this, but the first day I started I didn't get any training. I only got 2 days of training. That's all I got.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had 2 days to familiarize yourself with anything proprietary that they had.
Yeah, so half the stuff, or 75% of the stuff that they use, I already used it before. So they're like, yo, you don't need training. So they only show me how to use Avanti, which is the software packaging system for like imaging computers, and that's about it. But everything else I knew how to do already. So they didn't train me on that.
Nice. Well, that's what happens when you have experience. And not only that, when you have that experience, you can you can uh, um, you can pretty much figure out anything that falls into your lap. Doesn't matter whether it's something that you're kind of familiar with or a proprietary system that you've never seen, which happens all the time. At least, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say percentages, but I was going to say at least 20% of 20% of the software used or websites used at my business are all proprietary.
No,
But
no, we have the same thing. And literally, like, I started my first day at work, and everyone was grabbing me because it's the first time they ever had an IT guy in New York. They usually get help from Dallas, but since I'm the new IT guy, they literally was grabbing me. Everyone was grabbing me. So
you're the new guy in the area.
yeah, pretty
So you go
much.
to the office, right? You go to their office, or you just, from what I've seen a couple of your videos, and it seems like you were in the office somewhere and you showed how to take a call or something like that, or you were helping a user or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I can't leave the office. I can't work remotely. I mean, I can if I wanted to, but I don't do that because I do white glove support. So I deal with I guess for people that don't know this, I deal with the CEO of the company, the CFO, the COO, and then we recently got a new hire that started, which I didn't know. Like I knew about him, but I didn't set up his stuff because I was on vacation. We got a CIO as well. So these are all like important people that basically you cannot be out of the office. You have to be in the office if you're handling any of their issues, and it's face to face.
So for people that are watching, and this is a rhetorical question for me, what would you how would you explain as in white glove support? What does that mean to somebody who doesn't know, what that is?
So white glove support in a hedge fund is it's I'm not it depends what state you're what state you're from, but like in Dallas they take their time. In New York, no, New York it has to work. So basically we don't say no to anything. So basically if someone's having an IT issue, we fix it right away and we don't say no to them. And if we can't fix it, we give them a workaround solution within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Their downtime is like less than 10 minutes because they lose a lot of money. So basically, white glove support is everything from providing good customer service to their computer working to make them as happy as they possibly can. Basically, you butter them up. You butter them up, if that makes sense. Basically.
And yeah, exactly. And you have to be on point.
Yeah,
meaning that you have to be 100% ready and confident in your knowledge. Another reason to watch Kevin and his videos. He's got some really, really good advice on this. So it's just, you got to be on point with those type of situations. You got to know your, I'm going to say it, you got to know your shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
so it's good to learn and study like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's basically the service that you provide. You got to provide excellent customer service, really good service. Basically know what you're talking about. Don't sound like you're shy, or don't sound like you don't have the confidence to do it, because if you do that, that's like an off signal for the important people. They look at you like, oh man, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's a little green on the other side. So then they don't want to talk to you.
Especially New Yorkers. They can smell blood, dude. I've dealt with people from New York.
Yes.
Very firm. Let's just say that. Very assertive as well. Nothing wrong with that, but once you show confidence, then you get nothing but respect as well. It's just the style of the culture, which is perfectly fine. We as someone who's European, I can understand that as well, because New York has a lot of that European influence when it comes to just having that type of attitude, So confidence, very good to have.
Yeah, it's confidence. And even if you don't know how to fix the problem, at least sound like you know what you're talking about. Don't make up a story or anything.
Unless they don't understand what the story is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Don't make something up that makes you sound smart and then and basically you're lying to them. Don't lie to them. They'll know if you're lying to them. Don't lie to them. If you don't know how to fix it, you don't know how to fix it. That's it.
Right. No, absolutely. Don't lie to them. I mean, I'm just kind of like half joking, but yes, definitely. That happens to me as well. Usually when it's like somebody higher up, they for some reason want to know how you fix something. That happens quite often.
Yes.
And that's that micromanagement thing, that's that micromanagement, or just management in general. And this is what they're used to, people reporting to them what they did to resolve their issue. It doesn't even matter whether they understand it or not. But yeah, like Kevin said, don't just make up things, because they may follow up. They may follow up with, I don't know, maybe your manager, who knows, and try to say that you did a good job. And then he might say, well, he said he did this and that. And the manager's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Don't lie to them, because that's gonna bite you in the ass. Don't lie to them. I'm telling you right now.
For sure. And it's enough just to say a couple of sentences. Like, how did you fix this? Well, what I did, I went to here and I changed the settings on that. And that's all they want. They just want to know, like, whatever it is, doesn't matter. They don't have to understand it. They just want to get a report from you. Yeah, it's very, very typical.
Exactly. That's why, like, if you've seen any of my videos, which I'm pretty sure you have, like I say, like, tell me, okay, it's working. That's it. That's all you gotta say. It's working, or I fixed it. Don't say like, yeah, Yeah, so your computer fell off the DNS, so I did IP config renew release. I typed CMD. I went to the start menu. I typed CMD. I typed IP config release renew. I flushed DNS. I unplugged the cable, plugged it back in. Now I got a fresh new DNS, and then I waited for DNS to grab a new IP address to put it on the computer, and now it's working. Like,
I've actually done that once.
can't do that.
No, I've actually done that. Because this one manager guy, so there was a big issue, because they have because it's a big place and they have a bunch of cubicles and a lot of people were affected. So I came through and I provided a quick workaround and I went around. I had to literally go from each desk to desk and fix it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I had to do GP update or something like that. Something real quick,
Mm-hmm.
And everything was fixed. I already talked to somebody who's above him. I already talked to somebody. They're standing right there, and now here he comes. He's also a manager, which is fine. And now he wants me to explain it to him how I did. And I'm like, well, it's kind of complicated, and he's like, you don't know. He's like, oh, you don't know. I'm like, well, actually, this is what I did. And then I started listing exactly kind of like what you did. I just went from step by step, step by step. And I'm like, and then he was just kind of speechless. But I didn't get in trouble because he kind of insulted me. You know what I'm saying? And it was just kind of weird situation. But yeah, short and sweet. That's the way. Just short and sweet, where it's like you just tell them something that what you've done. You can say, I have reconfigured your DNS. Now it's working fine. That way, you don't leave them just hanging like that or confused or I don't know, offended or something.
Yeah, like we had an issue where we had a flap on the network, and I think you know what that is. I hope you know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, there was like latency on the network. Because one of our circuits went down, and basically we had a flap on the network when I came back to work on Tuesday. I came back. Well, not Tuesday. Sorry, Wednesday. I came back to work, and basically we had a flap on the network, and basically. I sent an email to the whole New York office because we have an office in Dallas. We have a New York office. And I said, there is latency or there's lag with our systems because we're having an issue right now. And I already escalated it to the vendor. So don't worry about it. You will notice a little bit of slowness when you're trying to save documents. But other than that, it should be okay. And I'll let you know when we get it fixed. And that's basically what I emailed everyone. Simple as that.
Yeah, nice. Just letting everybody updates. Yeah, that's a really good point. Providing updates is very, very important. Depending on the business that you work for, sometimes they want more frequent updates. And the way that works, the way he described it, the way Kevin described it, is basically he either, well, you can correct me if you want, but you either, emailed the managers for the whole, for the department, whoever was affected, or sometimes even a distro with a bunch of people on it. Usually managers and maybe up as high as director level, but basically letting the management know what you did, that this is what's happening, or just provide some kind of update so that it's not just hanging there without being resolved. That's
exactly, yeah. So I emailed the distribution group that's part of the New York office, and basically in the distribution group is everyone in New York, so everyone saw that email. So then everyone knew what was going on because they were all coming to me and they were saying, why when I save a document it's slow? And I'm like, let me find out for you. And then I escalated it to the network team, and the network admin told me that one of the sites went down. I'm like, oh god damn it. And then like, okay, so that's what's going on. So basically it's running on one leg instead of two legs. And I told him that's exactly what I said. I said, oh, it's running on one leg instead of two legs. So that's the reason why it's slow right now.
Did you ever, well, you know how whenever an issue like that comes up and you just kind of have like this weird intuition of what might be wrong? But I've been in situations where if it's a system that's out of my reach, somewhere else, in a different state, maybe even a different country, I have to reach out to the developers or whoever's responsible for those systems. And now they can't figure it out, but now we have what we call a crisis bridge going. There's like 50 people on there, and they're all just paged. I'm like not even joking, like 50 even more people.
No, I had that before too.
On the same bridge I'm telling you, like from all kinds of places, from all over the country and different countries. They're all just trying to figure it out. And I'm like, it's probably that. And for some reason, it's like they spent all this time trying to figure out, while you kind of had that weird intuition, like, well, you should have checked that first. But no, they had to go through all of this stuff, which I can understand that these are the steps they have to take. But sometimes the intuition just kind of tells you what the problem is. And if when you follow that, you can figure out what the problem is real quickly.
Oh no, I had that issue before because we migrated over a bunch of new companies, and basically there's some programs that they use that they normally would use, and for some reason it was being blocked by us. And then I had the network team look at it, and the network team's like, no, it's nothing on our end. And I'm like, no, it's something on our end. There's something going on our end, but they didn't want to admit to it. So then I had to do I use Snagit. Snagit is a program that allows you to do screenshots and recording, which is what I use for all my videos as well. I did a Snagit of all the stuff that I did, all the troubleshooting steps I did, and I did a Snagit of what's being blocked using traceroute. And also, I'm familiar with the application. They use Proofpoint. So I'm like, Proofpoint is blocking it, and they're like, no, it's not. And they're like, check again, it's blocking it. And then I had to do traceroute. I pinged certain websites. If I put my computer on a certain subnet and a certain IP and a certain subnet, it works fine. But if I put it on the regular subnet, it doesn't work fine. So I'm like, we are definitely blocking this. So I had to like make a whole video and everything in a document and send
That's
it over to them. And then I did all that, and then they're like, yeah, you're right, Kevin. Yeah, you're right, Kevin. It was being blocked. So I'm sorry about that. And then, yeah, because we moved these new people over to our systems, and it was working fine before. So there's something going on in our system. So we're blocking it through a certain firewall and a certain DNS and a certain port. And they had to check all that, and that's what it was.
So, that's interesting. So yeah. Was it blocking, or was it not working over certain IP ranges, or?
Yes. So we had some IP addresses that were blacklisted.
Gotcha.
Because of security reasons, and we didn't know, because with Proofpoint, sometimes they blacklist certain IP addresses by default because it doesn't know what they are. So to secure your systems, it blocks certain IP addresses that come in and out, and also certain ports that come in and out. So it doesn't know what it is. So it's going to block it by default unless you allow it. So
exactly. And that type of situation is very common whenever you're dealing with, for example, upgrading the network, a physical layer of the network at the location that you'll work at, for example. Like, for example, upgrading to I don't know, gigabit network. Chances are, once you start to receive all of those new IP addresses from the DHCP server, you'll get all these new IP addresses, and it's going to be totally different IP range. And now suddenly applications stop working because the firewall.
Yeah, the firewall.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. And now you have to contact all of these vendors, all of these developers, all these, if it's a website, I guess, web developers, and make sure that they're aware of all these new IP ranges, and to allow all these connections to come through, and have to deal with the firewall people. But then again, if you're working on upgrading the network to something else, to the new infrastructure, if you will, then this is something part of your project that you have to kind of anticipate and work on before you actually I guess pull the switch or whatever. Once you switch over everything, you got to make sure everything's in place before you do that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like some people don't know, is that they think that desktop support is just password resets. We don't do that. We do more than that. It's just some people that are in IT, or some people that do IT, or some people that are new in IT, they don't know that it's nothing. We do password resets, but we also escalate things to vendors. We spend countless hours talking to people. We spend countless hours having phone calls with the dev team, with the cybersecurity team, with the network admin team. And then if it's not something network related, it's cybersecurity related. If it's not something cybersecurity related, it's developer related. So, it's always a bunch of things going on. And basically, desktop, it depends what company you work for, because each company is different, but desktop support is it's very involved. It's not just, changing a computer or fixing a computer or changing a password. We do more than that. So.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. That's essentially half of our job. Yes, we spend, a lot of times working on just the regular tickets, and you know, as simple as putting in new monitor, or whatever, or changing the passwords. Yes, we do that, but when shit hits the fan, you can bleep me if you want on that.
No, it's fine. You can say that.
Then you have to drop everything that you're doing and help with the big system outages, which is quite a bit more involved than simple password resets. Which, by the way, every day I get people contacting me to reset them, to unlock them, to reset them. Oh my God. And
Me
it's the
too.
same people. It's the same people all the time. Ah, man.
Me too, man. Me too. I'm the same way. I get those level one, because I'm actually level 2 support, so I get those level 1 calls. We don't have anyone in level 1 yet. We're hiring someone for level 1, so then all those calls that come in, they're gonna deal with it. Like I'm not supposed to deal with phone calls. Just letting you know. So
we have a.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No. I said that we're not supposed to do it. Like me personally, I'm not supposed to deal with phone calls in my job. I didn't get hired for that. So for me to take phone calls is pretty bad. It looks bad on the company, because I got hired to take care of the issues that go on site in New York. So.
Right, exactly. And I'm kind of in the same situation. I'm there to be available for big issues, but in the meantime, I got to do something because I'm bored. The day is long. If nothing breaks, if there are no major system outages, which is what usually I work on, unless there's a project, then I'm going to work tickets. But yeah, I honestly, because I used to work in a call center environment. I used to work as a fraud analyst, so I would take calls, and I hate having a headset on my head and answer calls. And that came from not having any control of any calls that come through. You wouldn't get a chance to pick up. It just beeps in your ear. It's like what they call a whisper. It just beeps and it says blah, blah, blah. And then you have to immediately be ready at any time to answer that. Unfortunately, somebody who's new to IT may have to go through this in help desk environment, because if they want to get that experience, they're going to have to start, hey, just like me, when I was taking calls, I was a fraud analyst, which is not exactly the same thing, although I did work with knock quite a bit. But either way, in my job, we have a central phone. We all have our own, desk phones, but there's 5 of us in a really large, what we call tech room. There's 5 of us that support this entire building. Actually, there are 3 buildings, but anyways, they're kind of chained together. It's like a huge campus thing. And we have a central phone, and if whoever can pick up the phone, they pick up the phone. And it's usually somebody, hey, can you reset me or whatever, can you reset my password? But yeah, I'm not on the phone unless I'm in a meeting or working with somebody that's not there, that's not at the location, or if I'm talking to my manager that is in Florida. See, that's another thing. I don't have a manager or anything like that. I do have a manager, but he's not there. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm the same way. My manager's in Dallas, and he doesn't micromanage me, because he likes me. I get stuff done. I don't waste time. I don't go into work to BS anyone.
Exactly. He trusts you. He trusts you that you are more than capable of doing your job. So you don't need to be managed. That's all there is to it. And that comes from, showing your experience, showing that you're worth it, and then you simply get that trust. And that's when you get a really good job. But you got to go through the motions of getting that experience, and that's help desk, in my opinion. I mean, you can do PC support, and if you're lucky, you can find a job that's not help desk, but kind of like a tech IT guy at like some location. Even if it's like a smaller business, I highly suggest doing that, because experience is experience nonetheless.
Yeah, any type of IT experience that you could, like, people don't understand this. Like, I'm always answering the same question over and over again, not to sound rude or anything, but usually I answer the same question over and over again. Kevin, I get emails because people email my Gmail account. Kevin, I'm gonna start this new job as a field technician. Or Kevin, I'm gonna start this new job as desktop support. Kevin, I'm gonna start this new job as help desk. Can I put that on my resume? I'm like, yes. anything IT related, you can put it
Absolutely.
on your resume. Please put it on your resume. So then when you put that on your resume and you go apply for the next job, you go get a better job than that. You know, it just takes time. You get experience, it takes time. So,
But you know, the question that comes through a lot for me is what do I put on the resume if I have no experience? And that can be tough for people to, you know, figure out. But at that point, the best you can do is put down anything that's relevant, anything that's relevant, even if it's, you know, you working on your computer, building your own computer, or setting up your own home network. Even if it's, you got to put something down. However, there is a certain understanding, you know, there's certain understanding from the employer that they know that you are new to this, that you're, you know, brand new to that they know your level of experience. So they don't necessarily um, expect you to have the actual experience when you're starting a help desk level one. But if you put down that, you know, like you have to let them know that you are, that you know how to work on computers basically. And whatever the experience that you can show, even if it's just a personal experience, then you have no choice. You got to put that down. You got to show them something.
you see that? You see that video I made? I made a video on that. I made a video on how to add experience on your resume if you have no experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've seen that. And you know, these type of questions come up a lot. And you know, I really like helping people. It's just so enjoyable. I'm sure you do too.
I
And
mean, I did volunteer work for the NYPD, and I did a bunch of volunteer work for other things, and I did was it Meals on Wheels, which basically you give food to the elderly people. I did that as well, so I like helping people. That's just me. So
nice. You know, I was going to be a police officer a long time ago when I was in high school. By the way, I'm 38, so this was a
oh
long time ago.
oh my god.
What? Oh my gosh, you're old or what?
I thought you were a little younger, but never mind.
No, no, I'm 38, bro. Um,
Oh man, so this is back then this is back then when the TVs were made out of stone. Okay.
yeah, we had to hit him a couple of times with a club. We had those big switches, big knobs. You have to crank, just go crank, 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 and it's like you had 5 channels. I'm not even joking, dude. In the 90s.
You see my TV back there, the fat TV. You see it in
Uh-huh.
my video, like I got the fat TV.
The CRT, good old CRT.
Yeah, it's right there.
Is
It
that a
still
flat
works.
screen CRT though?
No, it's a fat one.
Oh,
It's a huge one. It's fat.
but you know how they used to have the ones that are actually flat, like they weren't round in the front, but they were like flat CRTs.
No, this is the fat one with the fat back and everything, and it has the yellow, the red, and the white cables in the front. So you can plug in a PlayStation 1,
Oh, there
basically.
you go.
Yeah.
There- What is that is that I think you mentioned this. Is that Dreamcast down there that you have?
Yeah. Sega Dreamcast. I have all the old console games, and I still play.
I remember buying the Dreamcast. This was, I had no idea, but it was going out. It was the end of Dreamcast, and I got it for like $50, brand new at Walmart.
Nice.
And it was actually pretty cool. I remember playing Sonic the Hedgehog. And dude, the didn't it didn't yeah, the Dreamcast had cartridges. Wait, the memory was plugged in front and it had like a little LED, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah, yeah.
controller
Yeah,
itself had some
you
kind of
plug it
LED.
in on the controller. Yes, yes.
LCD. I don't know why I said
Yeah,
LED.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And it would
Yes.
display something on it, sort of like those Tamagotchi pets
The
thing.
Gigapet. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Man, those were good times when I didn't have to worry about working and.
Bills and everything, and
Hmm. I was in high
um
school then.
uh
Jeez, you weren't
uh.
even born then. No, you were.
Yeah, you saw how old I am. I just turned 30, so
See, you're not that much younger than me, man.
yeah.
You're talking about old guy. Come on, man. You're 30, dude. When I hit 30, I felt like shit because it was a big turning point for me. I felt I didn't even want to celebrate my birthday. Nothing. I don't know. I almost felt depressed because I was like, man, 30.
Oh man, it's like my manager told me I'm like fine wine. I reverse age as I get older. I'm like fine wine. Like wine
You,
gets better over time. I get better over time. Like I look different compared to
uh-huh.
when I was in my 20s.
And now you're just rubbing it in, man.
No, because I used to be 200 pounds, and now
Yeah.
I'm like 145, and I looked older when I was overweight. Now that I lost weight, I look younger, so that's why.
You go to gym?
Yeah, I work out at home actually. So
Nice.
yeah, but I used to be 200 pounds, size 40 in pants. If you look at my old YouTube videos, I had a big face, really fat. And now I weigh 145, but I used to be 200 pounds, and
Dude, you
um,
lost a lot. How tall
yeah,
are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm sure I'm like 5'4", so
Oh, duh. Okay, okay.
yeah, that's too much
See,
weight.
yeah, for that height, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
uh I am 6'1", and I'm starting to get a little chubby, and but I'm 6'1" and 100, close to 190.
that's okay.
190.
That's that happy weight. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm not at the point where I'm like, fat or anything, but like the love handles, man.
Oh no, I have that too a little bit. Don't get me wrong, but it's okay. You know.
It's just the sweets. I gotta have cake, man.
Oh no, I don't eat sweets. I'm not really that into sweets. I drink beer. That's why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's different. Yeah. Then yeah, that's different. I heard that you can get the beer weight is like forms differently on stomach. That's what I heard
Yeah.
compared to like other
Mm-hmm.
foods.
Yeah, when I went on vacation, I actually came back 2 pounds less, actually, even though I had beer. But that's because, Spanish culture, we eat a lot of rice. I wasn't eating rice at all. I was just drinking beer the entire time while being in Germany.
Hmm.
So I didn't really gain any weight, actually. Again, I lost like 2 pounds, actually. So
And plus, you were probably more active.
yeah, I was walking like 8 miles a day. So
How's German beer? You like it?
oh my God, it was so good.
Did you
It's
go
not the
to?
same. It's not the same. It's not the same as American beer. That crappy water beer. It's not the same.
I know,
Not the
man.
same.
I know.
Mm-mm.
There are some good beers, but yeah, it's not the same. I
German beer. The food was amazing too. I had was the German sausages. I had burgers. I had mashed potatoes, German style. I had chicken, German style. Oh my God, the food was amazing too.
Oh, dude, trust me, I know. All German food is good.
And it's not like when we eat here is like everything is in containers. It tastes like we're eating plastic sometimes. Like nothing's natural anymore. So
I know. See, this is what happened when we came to this country in the 90s. Dude, I, first thing I remember eating that tasted off was eggs. I had scrambled eggs or something, and dude, they tasted like, how gasoline almost smells like?
yeah,
That's the taste I was getting from the eggs. And the food, everything tasted really weird to me till we get used to it. It
yeah,
was hot dogs tasted really, really off, and it was just like totally different food. I don't know what they're putting in the food here, man. Maybe this was just the 90s, uh, and or maybe I've just gotten used to it or something. But luckily, my mom, she makes homemade food every
yeah,
day,
yeah.
and
I eat at home usually. Mostly, I eat at home. If I eat outside, it's something like brown rice with kale and like chicken or something like. That's usually what I eat.
it's like a
So
bodybuilder meal.
yeah, usually what I eat, something like that. And I have like wine or beer usually. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, German food is good, man. I know
No,
that.
German food was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Like and it was weird because apparently over there they have to learn a third language, so they either spoke Spanish, Italian, or Asian or Chinese. Saying Asian, Chinese. So
Do you?
um yeah. So like I went to go order something. The lady didn't understand me in the bakery, and then someone spoke to me in Spanish, and then they translated in German. They're like, yeah, we have to learn Spanish over here or another type of language here. So
Or you can just use that Google Translate thing.
yeah, I was trying to, but
It's awkward.
my service was horrible because I'm in Europe, so
Yeah.
service was really bad over there. Like my GPS was working, but I couldn't download any apps or do anything. So
Did you tip? Because I don't know if it's everywhere in Europe, but in Europe you
you
don't
you're
tip.
you're not supposed to tip, but I did it anyway. And then the guy that was there, he's like, yeah, I'll give you another beer, and he gave me another beer because I kept tipping him. So
That's
yeah.
probably what he assumed. that you were
Yeah.
paying him for more beer. Well, that worked.
Yeah. No. He spoke English. He spoke English, Spanish, and Italian. He's from Italy. He's like, yeah. He's like, "You gonna give me a tip?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you a shot and a beer." I'm like, "Okay." So
So I take it you don't speak any German. Sprechen Sie
no,
Deutsch?
no.
I know a little bit, just enough to get me in trouble. I know a little bit of Spanish too, but just again, just enough to.
What is it? What's the word? Guten morning.
Yeah, yeah. Morning. Guten
Good
Morgen.
morning.
See, I
Yeah.
keep saying morning, but it's very similar. Guten
Yeah.
Morgen.
Good
Guten Morgen.
morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
then uh, good afternoon or something like that. Guten afternoon.
Yeah. Guten Tag is good day, and
Good
Guten
day.
Nacht is
Good
good
act.
evening
Good
or
evening.
good night.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Got it.
ja means yes. What does this turn into a German lesson? It's so weird.
It's okay. It's
But dude, I
okay.
went to Mexico a few times for vacation,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I tried learning Spanish, and the thing is though, it's fine, when you say "Hola, cómo estás," this and that,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. But then people assume, and I know the people do appreciate it whenever I try. I know they
Oh
do,
yeah. Wait, definitely.
but whenever they're taking my order, uh, they start talking really fast, and I'm like, oh, I don't really speak Spanish. Sorry, because it's like but that's I found that very interesting. But it's like, but luckily everybody spoke English as well, so
Yeah, that's good. That's a plus. That's good. That's good.
learning anything, but it also like new languages is so it feels nice on my brain. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like good massage for my brain just to kind of learn new things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming that's the case with people who don't like IT. So let's get back to that topic now.
Yeah, IT is
Do a full circle.
IT is basically it's not if people be asking me, oh, I'm like 30 something or 40 something, am I too old to learn IT? No, you can learn IT in any age. Doesn't matter how old you are. But also I tell people, like, your first job is not gonna be the best job in the world. You're not gonna have the best job, the best pay in the world with your first job. But you gotta take the experience out of that, and then it gives you the opportunity to get your next job that pays a little better. So you gotta have patience, and you gotta have time, you gotta have experience. It takes time. It's not like you're gonna make a lot of money getting your first job. Unless you know somebody, then maybe, but that's about it. That's all, that's what it is. That's the reality.
Absolutely.
That's the reality of IT. So
You got to keep trying. If you want anything that you want, you got to work for it. That's as simple as that.
mm-hmm. That's the reality of IT. You're not gonna get a server admin job as a new guy, and then you knock out like 10 servers and an access point and then a bunch of other stuff, and then you knock out the Cisco router as the new guy. That doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way. They don't allow you to touch any of that because you're new. So
Yeah, and in some cases, even if you do have experience, let's say you have, I don't know, 6 months experience of help desk, you still necessarily can't do a system admin job. No offense, but keep in mind, you can get a job within the same, if it's a contract, chances are they'll keep you on. And if they do, that's great. If they don't, because sometimes there's a higher turnover, this and that. Sometimes they crunch the numbers and they just start to lay off people. This and whatever the reason is, either that job or a new job, start doing help desk again if that's the only choice you have. But work your way towards the system admin. Make sure that that you get involved with that as much as you can while you're there at that company, and that's how you get that experience. Otherwise, I don't know how else you can get system admin experience unless you have hands-on. You know what I mean? Like, even if you do have a degree in whatever that touches on system administration, how else you're going to get that hands-on? I mean, you can show up with a degree, I guess. You can go show up with a degree, and that's an option. um,
yeah,
but I'm not sure how well somebody could do even with a degree without experience.
and that's the thing too with help desk or IT support or whatever, like desktop support. People go there and they work their 9 to 5 job, whatever. It's not. it's not just working 9 to 5. You should be, if you're getting that new job, you're starting out your first job, you should be asking a million questions. It's not just one question. You should be asking a million questions. And also, this is very important for anyone that doesn't know about IT, or maybe that this might be the first time talking about this, but also, if you want something, like if you want to be I'm gonna give everyone advice. If you want to be a network admin, or if you want to be a server admin, or if you want to work in cybersecurity, and your company you're working for has different departments, you want to do is you want to stay attached to those people that have that position, and you want to understand how they got that position, so then you could get that position yourself. So learn as much as you can from that individual or that person, so then when you're done with your help desk role, you could actually move on to that position. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, asking questions, there's nothing wrong with asking questions. The worst thing you can do is come across an issue that you can't resolve, but you don't ask somebody to help you out. Then not only did you not learn anything, now you're not doing your job. Now you're just not doing your job. So part of being new at some company is asking questions. There's going to be a lot of that, and hopefully you actually have somebody there to help you, because chances are, and I don't mean to scare anybody off or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
but some companies, it depends. Some companies may not have somebody there to actually help you out either.
That's what happened.
So,
That's what happened to me. You see, I started my job. I started this job, and I didn't get any proper training. They just threw me in the water.
yep. And yeah, and yeah, it's messed up, but it happens. So what can you do? Well, you know, Google is your friend. YouTube is your friend. Look for, like, here's an example. Let's say you can't fix Outlook. Let's say for some reason it's a simple thing, but you may not necessarily have come across this issue. But let's say for some reason user can't receive new emails or something, simple like that. And then you're like, well, I can't figure why everything's working. They're connected. They're connected to the Exchange server, but yet they're not receiving emails.
Mm-hmm.
We both know what the fix for that, is. But if you don't, Google it. Google it, or you know, look it up on the YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Most of that information is there. So you may have to do that sometimes, even if there are people there to help you, but they might be doing something else. So no shame in that. You just got to learn. And once you learn, before you know it, you'll become that IT professional, just like Kevin here. You're
Yeah,
going to become that IT pro that everybody wants to hire in New York.
you're funny,
Taking the
man.
big bucks.
Funny. Oh my god. Yeah. So that he's absolutely right. So basically, like not to sound like you don't know anything, but basically 50% of the time, or even 80% of the time, Google is your best friend. You could just search it on Google, and basically you search everything on Google. You don't know what it is or how to fix it, search it on Google. And then what happens is you get used to it. You get accustomed to it over time. So then what I'm trying to say, what I mean by that is basically you might come across that issue again and again and again, and you keep fixing that issue over and over again. And then you don't have to Google anything anymore. It's stuck in your head now. Oh, I've seen this issue before. I know how to fix it. Or I've seen this issue before. I know how to fix it now. Or going back into the advice of that, with some companies, they have ticketing systems. So if someone has an issue that they might have that's a strange issue that you have never encountered before, go into your ticketing system. Go to Jira, go to ServiceNow, go to Remedy, go to your ticketing system, see if you can find how to resolve it in there first before you escalate it or talk to your colleague. Maybe it's in there, you don't know. So you got to do a lot of research before you start asking for help, or
Good point.
things like that.
Very good point. Yes, the ticketing systems will have some kind of implementation of what we call in our company knowledge articles, or uh, things that are there that have already been fixed, and there's a fix for it, and you just look it up and there's a documentation on how to fix it. So yeah, of course, I mean, that goes without saying. Look at those resources that you have in the company, especially if it's something proprietary that's only for that company, and there's no way Google is going to find it. I mean, chances are, because especially if it's developed for the company, within the company, there's not going to be anything on Google.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. And also another source that you can look at is your inbox. Chances are that at some point, especially if you've been there for a few months, that issue has come up before and somebody has sent an email about it, and chances are they either know how to fix it or provided a fix within that email. So yeah, look at all your resources to find a resolution before, honestly, before you even bother asking somebody else who works there, because just do your, because here's what happens. Sometimes people that work with me, they would, you know, they would ask me like, hey, I can't, they would, sometimes it's an ego thing too, to be honest, but they would, hey, I come across this issue, but they wouldn't necessarily ask me either. Anyways, I digress. That's not what.
No, no, I know exactly. I know what exactly you're talking about. Some people they don't want to ask for help, or other people they don't want to look up the answer. They just go directly to the person that might have the answer instead of looking it up.
Exactly. But when it comes to IT, there shouldn't be any ego or anything like that. You work for the same company, so what's the difference? There's no reason for you not to directly ask. Like, who cares? We work together, so it's okay to just openly ask if you need help with something. And most people do that. They directly come and say, hey, I need help, I can't figure this out, can you help me out, or this and that, can you look at it? But
There are
what I tell
people,
people,
there are
yeah,
people that are knowledge whores, man.
exactly. But what I tell people as a default answer, and it's only some people that come to me, hey, they tell me about the problem, they're not asking, but then I know they're asking is just kind of indirectly.
Mm-hmm.
So what I ask them, well, did you go through all the basic troubleshooting steps? And then chances are that if they do, even if, like, because they say, oh yeah, I've done all that, but then I start to list basic troubleshooting steps verbally. Did you check this? Did you check that? Guess what, man? Half the time there's a one step that they haven't done, that and that could be the one step that they haven't actually looked up the solution for themselves either. you know so, and stuff like this happens, but this is just the nature of IT and tech support. And you know we do our best. All right, Kevin, man.
That's
it's
what it
been
is, man.
It's been
Mm-hmm.
an hour and a half.
Oh, Jesus.
Hour and a half. I had lots of fun. All the people that are watching, make sure you subscribe to Kevin. He's incredibly knowledgeable, but he really knows his stuff, and I can tell. Trust me. I am an IT professional, and I can tell he's an IT professional. So this is why he needs to be subscribed. If nothing else, leave a comment for him, or leave a like or whatnot, or hey, if possible, hey, share this video with your friends. Make sure they know about Kevin. um, but yeah, man, I
Oh,
had a
same goes for you, man. Same goes for you, for everyone watching my this video. For people that watch my video, if I guess the subscribers that watch my video, same thing, man. If they can follow you, they can like this video, share this video, and look at your content, because we actually have similar content. So, and if we wanted to do a collab in a while, we haven't done one because I'm busy, you're busy, but basically we have similar content. So he has a lot of stuff that basically it's realistic. It's not like BSing you or anything. He has a lot of realistic stuff that is gonna happen in the real life world. It's real life scenarios. It's not stuff that we make up. So definitely follow his channel. See what he has. He has a lot of IT interview stuff. He has a lot of desktop support, a lot of sysadmin stuff. So definitely look at his content as well, and show some love to him as well.
aw
That's basically what I wanted to say.
for Valentine's Day.
For Valentine's Day, yeah, this is an IT interview bromance.
What the heck? Why not?
I should title it that IT interview bromance.
Hey, do it, man.
Yeah, I'm
Do
gonna
it.
do
Go
that. I'm
for
gonna do that. I'm gonna IT interview bromance. Happy V Day. That's gonna be the title of this.
it. Maybe YouTube algorithm is going to explode.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Dude, that would be awesome, dude. Dude, if people watch this long and interested this long in this hour and a half video, I guarantee you this video is going to, as they say, pop. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be
Yeah.
it might start trending. But I'm going to leave it at that. I think that was the best way to kind of wrap this up from my end. So I appreciate you having me on. It was a lot of fun. When I came across your channel and I saw your video, I'm like, wow, this guy is really cool. He does the same stuff. So I was really kind of like very interested in talking to you from the beginning. So I'm glad I had this session with you. It was a pleasure, man. I thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. I was gonna ask you, like, how did you find my channel? I was gonna ask you.
Well, I can tell you. So you know what? I'll tell you. YouTube suggests me similar channels to watch, and because of the algorithm, it suggested one of your videos, and it's basically in the in the YouTube feed on the main YouTube.com page. It came
Mhm.
up, and I'm like they're recommending you, and I saw your face. I'm like, well, that's it's a cool thumbnail because it emphasized you, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna click on that because I like the title, and it was stuff that I do. I'm like, okay, well, this guy seems cool. So that's how I came across your channel, and then I left a video. I left a comment on your video, and I was like, hey, I think I said something like, you seem to have similar channel,
Yes,
or you
yes,
seem
yeah.
like a cool dude,
Hmm.
and I don't know what else I said. On the same note, and I don't want to end this video um, in a negative way. So I'll tell you about something that YouTube suggested to me that I really wanted to share with you to be on a lookout for related to um, our YouTube channels. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you know what that is, but I don't really want to spoil this video by talking about it
got it.
here. So all right, man.
Yeah, you can email me about it, and we'll talk about it through email. You have my Gmail account, so just email
Yep,
me.
yep,
Hmm.
I sure will, man.
So like I said to everyone, show some love. It's Valentine's Day. This is a bromance interview, and that's about it.
we'll, we'll hug it out. All right,
We'll
have a
hug
good
it
one,
out.
man. Take
All
it
right,
easy,
you
man.
you too, man. Thank you for spending the time. I know you have a busy schedule, and I know you have things to do. So I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to have this interview and conversation with me.
My pleasure, man. You have a good one.
All right, you too. You take care.
Bye.
All right, bye bye. All right, guys. Jesus, it's a long video. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, give him some love, follow his channel, follow my channel, obviously, follow both of our channels. We do similar content. Maybe we'll do another interview if you guys like this video. If we get a certain amount of likes on this video, then maybe we'll make a second video. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys, I guess, happy Valentine's Day. All right, take care. Peace. Bye.